Welcome to DISCflex certification.
So I'm super excited now. We're actually through the pie charts. We'll come back to those a little bit later. But the next thing we're going to talk about is what happens when you combine all of the bar charts, the pie charts. Well, of course, you get strengths and you get potential challenges in everybody's personality and everybody's behavior. So the next page deals with potential and possible strengths, and it also deals with potential challenges that the person has. Now, as you're reading through this, because you're certified, we're going to kind of let you into the secret sauce behind how this report was actually built. When you look at the strengths, you look at the potential challenges, as you go down the list, you'll see that the first one looks like it's D related. So it's based on your level of D. High, very high, mid-range high, mid-range low, or low. We take 4 slices of that D and we come up with a behavioral word that fits that category of who you are. And this particular person, because they're an 80% D, is determined. Now you'll notice that the strengths are all positive. We try and make this report pretty motivating and pretty positive, and that's really important to us. So the first strength is always positive. And it is always a D strength. The next strength, as you go down, you'll see that we're looking at the I behavior, and this particular person's I behavior is just below the mid-range at 48. That means they are a medium mid-range I, which would put them in self-governing. They don't go to their friends and look for, validation, or they don't really succumb to peer pressure very much. And that would mean that they are self-governing. So they're just below the line in an I. The next one on the list would be a S-type behavior. So whether you were in a high, mid-low, or low, we would pull out a word, a behavioral word that describes the strength of that level in that quadrant of the S. And this person is a 43, which made them mid-range low, just below the line, the midpoint line. And that would mean that they would be straightforward. So people who are above the line in S are caring, thoughtful, patient. People who are below that line lack those very caring tendencies. They're much more straightforward. And that is actually a strength. If you need somebody on your team who is straightforward, you wouldn't want a very high S. That would make them very uncomfortable. Below that line at a 43, you'd definitely be straightforward in your approach. Now, this has nothing to do with how those behaviors are exhibited. Somebody can be straightforward and blunt, or straightforward and politically correct, or straightforward and diplomatic. This word describes the basic underlying behavior. It does not tell of the skill they have in that behavior for each of the D, I, S, and C strengths. So the next one you'll see is your C behavior. And in this particular person, they are also a 43, which is mid-low on the C. So they're not governed typically by rules. They know them, but they're not governed by them. So this person would be pioneering. In other words, they'd be able to go and forge ahead with new rules, maybe going around the rules, but they're not going to break them. They're just going to be pioneering and going out there, which is pretty cool for a strength. So now that you know, in the strengths category, when you're certified, the first strength is a D, second one is an I strength, second one is an S strength, and this third one, is an S strength, and the fourth one would be a C strength. Depending on the quadrant that you're in, we pull out those behaviors based on the exact level that you are. And again, it doesn't tell your skill level there, your performance there. It tells of what your behavior would be like. Now let's move along to potential challenges. With every behavior, we do have strengths, but we also have potential challenges, that yin and that yang going on. So the next box all has to do with the potential challenges this person might face. And we all have them, but forewarned is forearmed. If you know that you have potential behavioral challenges, oh my gosh, you can work on them. You can ask people to monitor them, which I do. I say, hey, if you see me going like I'm a tornado or talking too fast or whatever, just Go like this. Slow down, Helen. Stop doing the tornado thing, because I'm a high D, high I. And that's what they call me, tornado. So I come in like sometimes like a whirling dervish, and I've got to stop that behavior because I want to be mature in that behavior. So again, the potential challenges that come out of this, the first one is going to be a D. Second one is going to be I. Third is going to be the S-type behavior. And the fourth one is going to be a C-type behavior based on the exact level where you are on that bar graph. And the first one for this particular person, because they are an ADD, they are going to have focus. They're going to have problems with focus. Now, what's really interesting is potential challenge here is also a strength, because they have focus. They are going to go and get that goal. But that is also a potential challenge, because if you're so focused, you might miss the forest for the tree that you're going after. Or as you're running through the door, you might forget your wallet, or forget that there's other team members on your team that you have to get buy-in from. So that focus can be a potential challenge, as well as a great, great big strength in your behavior. So it's a potential challenge you're looking for from behavior. And again, there's nothing to do with the skill level of the behavior that you're exhibiting. It is just the behavioral tendency that you will have. So potential challenge for this particular person. And as you're going through this section, please look at your own report or the reports of your teammates, because this makes a lot more sense as you're getting certified when you're looking through those other reports and you go, oh yeah, I've seen them exhibit that challenge. I've seen them try to overcome that challenge. I've seen that strength in that person. So these are very important points as you're going through this report. Okay, so the next one is this person, because they are in the quadrant of the I, just below the line at 48, they're going to have a problem with kind of giving up control. And they're going to have a problem with prioritization and deciding too quickly, because their I behavior, their S behavior, and their C behavior are all mid-low. So those are some potential challenges that they're going to have to learn to deal with, watch out for, or get somebody else on the team to handle them. So if I have a problem with prioritization and I know it, I can actually learn to do that, pick up that skill set, and be able to focus on doing that, and decide when I need to do prioritization and become a master at it when I need to. I can have somebody on my team who's better at prioritizing than I am, or I can hire somebody into the team. Knowing your potential challenges, you can compensate for them in one way or another, picking up that skill, somebody else with the skill, whatever it is. But knowing about it behaviorally is really great.